Mitchell this afternoon, so I guess you could say he's a stable mate to General Nadim. They're certainly trained by the same fellow, but I think that's about as far as we'll go when comparing those two. Hagman at $9.20 for the 7th. That pool up to $65,000 now, and Mitar at $6, $6.40 and $7.50 on Queensland. So they're the main runners in commission for the Westoil Orange Cup over 2,100 metres, and we'll have a field of 14 to face the starter in about 4 minutes' time. They should be on time too, because they are heading around to the gates. News at Kilcoy, another upgrade for the track. So after race 6, they've decided to lift it another notch to dead. So originally heavy, went to slow, now to dead for the last 2 races at Kilcoy. Now the Orange Cup is coming up soon, but Maitland firstly, race number 8, and here's John.
Yes, thanks, Matty. This is
Fair 860, Soho Tram 310, Brown Toast 460, Anala Girl 910, and My Alibu at $9.50 for the last event at Hamilton. $8 optical. The rest of the field are healthy odds. And the tips there are 4 to beat 2 and 5. Now, courtesy of Olympic Video Gaming, let's go to Colin Hodges for the 98 Orange Cup.
Well, good. That's good to hear Olympic Video Gaming. Very big sponsors up my hometown. They sponsor the Forbes Cup each year. Yes, well, the Westoil Orange Gold Cup has drawn a capacity field. The top weight, of course, Scratch Kingstown gives the first emergency Simply Gorgeous a run. 2 previous cup winners engaged here. Jelly Bean Road and Like a Squire have both won an Orange Cup in the past. And only reading in the Central Western Daily this morning a story that the last locally trained horse was Lucky Who's 20 years ago, trained by Reggie Buseville. So an Orange trainer hasn't won the cup over the last 20 years. So let's hope that one of the locals can pull it off today. Now, waiting on Hagman to come into line. Feanor is still out. Noble Dan has moved up. Grace and Pride, a very honest type. Tuxedo drawn out very wide on the track. Good run in the Bathurst Cup. Got a long way back early and stormed home to not be beaten far into 3rd place. Tally Man. He's a very, very good galloper. He has won a 2,400-metre race at Ramwick by 7 lengths and is also the winner of a Golden Fleece. But the light's flashing. And they're off and racing in the cup, and Odd Socks veered out, nearly collided with Tallyman, but no damage done. On Demi Point in the meantime got away quickly. Like a Squire dropping back along the fence. Out wide on the track was Noble Dane, going up in company with Feanor. As they raced down to the winning post, the circuit they go, and Noble Dane took up the running. Odd Socks to 2nd, Feanor 3rd. On Demi Pointers settling 4th on the rails. Then came Jade Palace on its outside, Grace and Pride about 7th on the rails. Then came Tallyman, followed by Simply Gorgeous. Next then Jelly Bean Road over on the rails. Then was Meter, a length and a half back then to Joseph. Well out of its ground was Simply Gorgeous, and second last Hagman in company with Tuxedo, who is down at the tail of the field. So they race along about 1,250 to go, and Noble Dana leading 3/4 of a length. On Odd Socks 2 legs back was on Demi Pointer, head away 4th, the outside Feanor, a length and a half back. 5th was Grace and Pride. They're being followed by Jade Palace. He's over on the inside there of Jelly Bean Road. The next one was Like a Squire, then Tallyman. Joseph Meter is 4th last. A fair way back then to Simply Gorgeous, followed then by Hagman and Tuxedo last. But about to start a run out wide on the track, it's Noble Dana, a narrow leader as they sweep down past the 800. Tackled by Odd Socks, the outside. A couple back then to Feanor on the outside of On Demi Point. Grace and Pride is over on the inside, followed then by Jade Palace, to work into it in company with Jelly Bean Road. Like a Squire is over on the rails. Joseph making ground. Tallyman's a long way back, being followed then by Meter Tuxedo. Hagman is 2nd last, and Simply Gorgeous at the tail of the field. Odd Socks is going to lead them onto the home turn. Here's Grace and Pride on Demi Point, staying to make their runs. Out wide on the track was Joseph. It's the widest runner. 250 out, and Odd Socks the leader. On Demi Point about the challenge. Out wide was Joseph, followed by Tuxedo, and Tallyman is getting up along the rails. Soon after, Odd Socks just a leader. On Demi Point, Tallyman up along the rails. Tallyman is getting a rails run. Odd Socks on Demi Point out wide. Tallyman in front. It's a great finish. Tallyman maybe a nostril over Tuxedo, and about a half ahead to Joseph. And on Demi Point in a thriller. In 15 then was Odd Socks. They've been followed in by Jade Palace. Next in was Meter, out wide was Like a Squire. Then came Hagman. Noble Dane, a long way break back then to Jelly Bean Road. Simply Gorgeous and Grace and Pride. A sensational finish, I think, Tallyman, but the angle at Orange is notorious, and don't tear your ticket up on Tuxedo. He's out very wide on the track. What an absolute great finish. Tallyman with about 5 behind him, swinging the corner. Dale Jeffries got him up along the fence. He got clear of On Demi Point, and then Tuxedo. And don't write Tuxedo off. I thought the Tallyman lasted, but Tuxedo, don't write him off. On Demi Point is also close up, but maybe Tallyman over Tuxedo, and very close up. There were 2 others there, I said, in the call. On Demi Point was one of them, and I just forgot the other one now. Maybe Tallyman after a sensational ride from Dale Jeffries. But, gee, I've gone for horses on the inside at Orange before, and one's out wide. I've ended up surprising everyone by getting the photo. But maybe Tallyman, Odd Socks was in front, 100 out. On Demi Point grabbed him. Joseph had put in a good run down the outside. Tuxedo at the tail of the field at the 600. Winding up. Tallyman was just in front. Tuxedo flew with On Demi Point and Joseph. And maybe Tallyman over Tuxedo. On Demi Point maybe third, just in front of Joseph, in what has been an absolutely thrilling Westoil Orange Gold Cup. Dale Jeffrey straight back to the gate on Tallyman. He gives the horse a pat. Of course, Dale's always, he'd have to be aware too that even on the replay it shows probably Tallyman, but I wouldn't be writing Tuxedo off, but I think Tallyman probably has got there in the cup over Tuxedo, and if it does, it's been a marvellous ride from Dale Jeffries. The owners, Jeff Boxall and Daphne Boxall, and the trainer Ross Lomax have stuck solid with Dale Jeffries. I know they've had a lot of pressure put on them to put a Sydney rider on, but Dale Jeffries, he's won the Mudgee Cup, he's won the Golden Fleece on Tallyman for them, and when the photo comes down, I think he has probably won the Westoil Orange Gold Cup on what is a real locally bred horse. Jeff and Daphne Boxall from up at a little place called Rylstone, they raced the sire Tallyman. He raced around Geary and Mudgee and those sort of places, and they put him to one of their own mares, just hobby bred. It's just a couple of mares, and Tallyman has been the result. He's still got to get the photo. I think he might get there from Tuxedo, and we still wait for, you know what, I've called Tallyman over Tuxedo in the Phantom Cool last night. I haven't taken a Quinella. You wouldn't read about it. I should be hit over the head with a hammer standing by. The time was 2.09.2. 2.09.2, about a half a second outside the race record. But we still stand by for the result of the photo. Boy, was that a race.
Okay, well, the judge is certainly taking his time putting the result up. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. And hopefully we'll be able to see a result fairly soon. I thought the inside horse had won it, Tallyman. I thought he'd held off Tuxedo, but as Cole said, the angle there apparently is quite notorious, so we'd better not get too carried away. But I personally thought Tallyman had won on the inside. There's a protest at Maitland, second against first. It's alleging interference at the 1,200 metre mark. So in a 1,600 metre race, that was shortly after the start. A fair way from home. 2:10.5 second v first at Maitland. They're moving in at Hamilton for race 8, the last of the day. Here's Brian.
With Mr. Willis, Soho Tram and Tangier Affair. Now Soho Tram being led up. Soho Tram going into a middle gate. Tangier Affair drawn near the outside. Provincial racing tomorrow is at Echuca. On Sunday it's Benalla, Euroa Cup Day in Mildura. Monday, Horsham race. Tuesday, it's Kilmore. All in now, set for a start. Last of the day, ready. Tram, and there's another one over on the outside of those as they come towards the turn. Brown Toast. A length and a half to Mayola Do, and then Optical making ground on the inside for Manala Girl. 2 away. Finish.
The judge finally gave the nod to the horse over on the inside, Tallyman number 2. Dale Jeffries was absolutely elated. $6.60 and $2.40 for a place, as he would be elated too, winning a race in his local district of that nature, a $30,000 event, and some nice trophies on offer too. Tuxedo number 8 was the one that was out wide and lunging. He's just missed out, $4.50 for a place, and then Domi Point number 9, $4.90. So it's 289, and the formalities about to take place after race 7 at Orange, although the jockeys will probably have to weigh in firstly, and after we have correct weight, we'll have the presentation underway. The Orange Cup, still one race to go there. It's a Cup race 2 over 1400, an open quality. Now Kilcoy's coming up, race 7, number 4, Lapazing.
Out at one of the villages, sponsoring it right through to racing like they have with the Westoil Cup today. Now, here we see Viva Rajan about to move up. Let's face it, Diverted, and El Rateb. He won the West Trust Central West Stakes here over this distance not so long ago. The Cup today was an absolute thrilling finish with Tallyman winning by half a head from Tuxedo, a head away, third on Demi Point, and a nose away to Joseph fourth. Some racing here again tomorrow, the Banjo Patterson meeting at Orange, and on Tab meeting, and then on Wednesday one of the biggest picnic meetings anywhere in Australia. Probably a lot of people rate it as the best picnic meeting in Australia, the most beautiful track you'd ever see down at Badgerabong, west of Forbes. They come there from the Northern Territory, West Australia, everywhere. And magnificent turf track and beautiful surroundings, and I think there's something like 84 nominations for that meeting at Badgerabong next Wednesday. Further down the track, Bathurst racing tomorrow week on the Saturday, and of course the famous Wellington Boot Carnival coming up in March. Out west they're racing at Coonabarabran tomorrow. Now Diverted, let's face it, we've got 2 horses here who won Central West Stakes, namely Let's Face It and El Rateb. He's won 4 races in Brisbane too, let's face it. He's a real favourite here with crowds at Orange. The local horse, El Rateb, he's got the top weight, but a quality galloper. Jazz Prezire, another very, very good horse. And Young Inch, he's going ahead in leaps and bounds this campaign. Has been able to win in Sydney. Patrick Cass says that he's a very hard horse to handle, Young Inch, and I know his track work rider, Justin Kentwell, who also rides as an amateur at the picnic races, he gives him a lot of credit. He said Justin's the only person who can ride Young Inch in the track work, and the horse has come really ahead this year. I think we're going to see a great race here. We're waiting on Let's Face It, who is a possible leader. If he can get out in front bowling along, he's always hard to run down at his home track. I'm sure that El Rateb, Young Inch and Jazz Prezire, they'll be rattling home at the finish. Now the starter comes to the stand. This is the completion of a big day's racing at Orangeback Racing here again tomorrow, and they are set. The light is flashing. Off and racing, Let's Face It out wide. He began brilliantly. Jazz Prezire, El Rateb, both going forward into handy spots. Back along the fence, then Stainer makes some ground. Was Pensionary. He's getting up to be running about 5th at the moment. A length and a half back, then came Clarena. Viva Rajan's going around them deep, followed by Glow in the Dark, Young Inch, Spanish Letter, Sovereign Kite and Diverted as last. Down the back they go, and Let's Face It at the 1,000 metres. Kicks away to lead over a length now to Viva Rajan. Lying third was El Rateb. Fourth, Jazz Prezire, 5th, Pensionary, and 6th over on the inside was Glow in the Dark, Spanish Letter. Stainer makes some ground. He's being tracked forward there by Young Inch. Gap back then to Sovereign Kite and Diverted as last. They race on the side of the course, 6.50 to go, and Let's Face It by a length and a half to Viva Rajan as they come inside the 600. El Rateb third, then Jazz Prezire, Pensionary, Glow in the Dark making ground, followed then by Spanish Letter. A good break back then to Clarine being followed by Sovereign Kite and Pensionary and Diverted. Onto the home turn they come, and Let's Face It, he swings around the corner with a handy break. Viva Rajan, El Rateb is over on the rails. Then came Jazz Prezire, Glow in the Dark. Here's El Rateb coming after Let's Face It with Viva Rajan out wide joining in. El Rateb goes up to Let's Face It. Then came Viva Rajan. El Rateb draws the lead. The big weight in the saddle won't stop him, and El Rateb goes on and scores. Let's Face It, second half ahead in front of Viva Rajan. Glow in the Dark was steaming home into 4th place. Then came Jazz Prezire, next in Sovereign Kite, Pensionary, then came Diverted, Spanish Letter, and together last were Young Inch and Clarine. What a
Well, that's been a good day of racing at Orange this afternoon. Another exciting finish to wind up the day with Al Rateb under the 59 kilos, a senior jockey on board, so definitely no claim. He carried every single gram of that 59 kilos. He's paid $4.80, $2 Al Rateb. Let's face it, back over on the inside there has hung on for second, but only just $3.80 for a place, because the horse that was getting home very quickly was Vivant Argent, number 12, $3.80. Was flying home, but Al Rateb and Let's Face It have held him off, and he's finished in third. 1-3-12, that's it for Orange on Cup Day. Now we've got Maitland next.